Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one word?
Incredible, amazing. I can't use one word.
Into the keyhole there, ran a little bit wide, but the track now, Townsend, is gripping up. There's high rubber in the keyhole, so you can kind of run a little bit wider of a line and get some more straightaway speed. But look at this guy. A couple years ago, we heard Sam Schmidt say that he missed a season and we wanted him, but this is the reason why right here. He lost it at Fontana, huge crash, broke his back, basically had to sit out for a long time, went into sports cars in Europe to get his feet back under him. But he's back, Townsend, this year, and he's really been on fire the last 3 races.
And don't forget, as a rookie, Mikhail Aloshin had never been to any of these small towns where we visit in the Indycar series. I'll bet 10 years ago he never would have dreamed winning in a place like Lexington, Ohio. And here is Scott Dixon back out on track, and we understand looking to just burn off some miles and mileage out an engine because he's out of the points window. And I wonder what might happen if he encounters Elio Castroneves.
He's going to go looking for Castroneves, maybe. So
if he could have gotten out earlier, perhaps he could have taken advantage of some points if other cars had dropped out. We haven't seen that type of attrition. So, like you say, now perhaps the business that he was talking about taking care of is mileaging out that engine. But Paul Tracy, always the conspiracy theorist, said, well, what kind of business is he going to take?
Well, check this out. Scott Dixon's been pulling offline to let traffic through on the back straightaway. The next car coming to Scott Dixon, Elio Castroneves.
And you ride on board Scott Dixon, but I understand Castroneves has already gone around him. So, see, you guys building up this conspiracy theory, and it failed to materialize.
I don't know. I show number 3. That's Castroneves right there behind Scott Dixon, guys.
Is he coming? Oh, there he is.
That is Elio. Let's see what Dixon does here.
There's the grassy knoll that they're coming through. So there. Find out if your conspiracy theory holds. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, this is the fight for the championship. Right now, Simon Pagenaud leads the championship, but Will Power just in front of him has been on a charge. And it'll be interesting how the pit stop strategy, that final pit stop plays out. Man, Will, every time Power off the keel just leaps away.
I love having Will Power, the chaser, the pursuer in the championship battle, because I think he loves that position. He doesn't have to think about protecting points. He doesn't have to think about high percentage decisions. He just has to go for it, and that's what he does so well on a track like Mid-Ohio.
Oh, big hit. It's the 41 of Jack Hawksworth. That's in turn 1.
Wow. And what lap are we on? Lap 60.
Just
barely enough to make it on fuel. You'd have to save a lot.
Right, Jack?
that was a really big impact. You can tell he's hurt.
Jack, you okay?
I think the wind is knocked out of him.
Yeah, he shakes his head talking to the safety workers, but big impact, and that will certainly take your breath away.
And for Mikhail Aloshin, this is a nightmare. Now you've got to race it out with all the big boys on pit lane.
If they can do a stop, the Schmidt team, like they did for his teammate, that 6.1 stop, they've got to make it happen, because trying to beat Penske on pit lane is a tall order for a lot of these teams.
That's great to see Jack Hawksworth climbing out of the 41 on his own, but you saw pit lane. Everyone was set up. 61 laps complete. This was a little bit earlier when Hawksworth on the left fighting with Marco Andretti in the yellow and blue 27.
I wonder if they banged wheels and maybe something failed on the car, but no contact there. But
he gets in the grass.
He just
he dropped his right side in the grass. You know, it's a lot like Charlie Kimball's crash in qualifying a few years ago. When you go off there, look, it's downhill grass runoff. There's barely any time to slow down.
150-mile-an-hour corner in fifth gear, and he just dipped a wheel off on the entry and lost the rear and drew a long ride after that.
Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying. Heartbeat
Simon Pagenaud, that's the top three in the championship. championship sits in second and third. Pit lane about to get incredibly busy, and this could be the race right here.
Look at the gap that Power's leaving to Enerson. And so he's left a good 5-car gap, so that's an advantage to Aloshin. So
Enerson stays on track. Everyone else comes to pit road, Jan.
And Paul, that 5-car gap is exactly what you want if you're the pit crew for Mikhail Aloshin. If they can get this done quickly, he should be able to cycle out and keep the lead. So far, everything is A-OK. They get all the fuel in. And what? No! Oh, there's contact. Mikhail Aloshin and Joseph Newgarden.
And Will Power wins the race off pit road. He came in ahead of Simon Pagenaud, and he maintains that gap, but big problems in the middle of pit lane.
And you could see that coming. Joseph Newgarden about to pit. And if you're the crew chief for Mikhail Aloshin, it's your job to watch incoming cars on pit lane.
You said it. You can win or lose in pit lane. This was your leader, Mikhail Aloshin. Look for the green car at the top of the screen.
And part of the problem is he had to make a front wing adjustment. So rather than have the left front guy do the front wing adjustment, you're putting a lot on the right front changer.
The guy here got hit right here on Montoya's car.
Right front.
So really, really lucky nobody was hurt. That hitch clip comes right out into his teammate. Poor Joseph Newgarden.
Third time at Mid-Ohio for Newgarden. And he has issues on pit lane.
Wow. Now let me ask you this. I'm looking at the leaderboard as we see some debris on the racetrack. See
Power is the first out of the pits, followed by his teammates. So we're back to the championship leaders. Aloshin now. That pit stop really hurt him. So
you see him back out on track. Daly, your leader. And the question is,
he pit on
he's
57.
He's been under caution this entire time. You know that they reached up on the wheel and went to full lean.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't been under caution this whole time. He had to go green laps for 57 to 62 before the curse. 60 for the caution to come out. So that would be 33 laps of green. I can't imagine, unless he has a ton of caution, that he can make it to the end.
Well, the cautions breed cautions, but with the weekend that he's had, he's been struggling so bad. And I actually had a conversation with his dad. As Aloshin comes back, his front wing is broken. I had a conversation with Daly's dad, and his confidence was down. He asked if I would go over and talk to him. I never got a chance to find Connor, but just to lead some laps after the weekend he's had would be a huge compliment.
They sent you to talk to him. Townsend just raised his eyebrows at that. Townsend won't even comment. Rarely is he
Listen, no, I would agree with that. If I had a son and he was having some issues, I'd love to have Paul go talk to him. You're talking about one of the all-time greatest IndyCar drivers in Paul Tracy, and it's a good one to go down and give some advice.
You said
heartbreak for Aloshin. Crew chief waved him out. He was making a wing change as the other guy was having a problem with the front tire. Waved him to go, and the car was there.
Heartbreak down in pit lane, yeah?
Yes, it was, and it was clearly the crew did wave him out. And the issue was that Joseph Newgarden was in what they call the high-speed lane. And it's a case of you need to know who your neighbors are. If you know that someone is ahead of you and you see that car, you have to hold it. If Joseph Newgarden had not been pitted just a few pits ahead of them, that would have been a clean exit. There was room for him to go out, but not if Newgarden was your neighbor coming in to make his stop.
It just goes to show you that it's not over till it's over. And as we said, coming in, one of those deals where your fortunes can rise or fall there in pit lane. And that's
you can see Aloshin still banging on the steering wheel. He's furious.
Emotions running high here at Mid-Ohio, the Indy 200. It's Connor Daly who leads right now.
Some said Wendy's 4 for $4 was the biggest thing since.
And now for tonight's biggest news.
The 4 for $4 now comes with your choice of a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger or the new Crispy Chicken BLT. It's the biggest thing until...
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. Which one of these awards appeals most to you?
Top safety pick, mid-size car and SUV.
Most dependable means a lot to me.
The green car because I like fuel efficiency.
What if there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company, one award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one word?
Incredible, amazing. I can't use one word.
I'm Ann Howard.
And Michael Howard.
We left on our honeymoon in January 2012.
44.
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. Which one of these awards appeals most to you?
Top safety pick, mid-size car and SUV.
Most dependable means a lot to me.
The green car because I like fuel efficiency.
What if there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company, one award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one word?
Incredible, amazing. I can't use one word.
I'm Ann Howard.
And Michael Howard.
We left on our honeymoon in January 2012.
44 different countries across all 7 continents.
It actually evolved into a business.
From our blog to video editing.
Our technology has to hang tough with us.
When you're going to a place without electricity, you need a long battery life.
The touch combined with the screen resolution.
A Mac doesn't have that. We wanted to help more people overcome their fears and get out there and see the world. Once you take that leap, that's where the magic happens.
Good morning to everyone across the United States. We are delighted you're with us. We welcome you to Stamford Bridge here in West London. The wait is finally over. Yes, a new Premier League season is upon us.
That last round of pit stops as he ducks in. He was at the back of the field because of an unsafe pit release. Here's the problem.
Yeah, if you watch, Brian, here's the right front tire changer. His responsibility to send a lotion, but they also have him doing wing adjustments, which is a lot to put on one guy, and then also a safe release. And he just doesn't realize that Newgarden is going to pit right in front of them, and that leads to contact. Nothing the drivers can do. It's all air traffic control on pit lane. And here you see a lotion just going, why? Why me?
And for Mikhail, he did nothing wrong. He went when he was told to go. He has no idea where Newgarden is.
Look at the marbles. Look at the marbles come flying off these tires.
Look
a
at
ton
the
of
gap.
pickup.
Look at the Simon gap Connor has when Pagenaud's making a move on the outside. They touch.
Pagenaud, power, contact, and Charlie Kimball off at turn 4. Will Power and Simon Pagenaud racing incredibly hard down into turn 4. We talk about these restarts being the time to get it done.
And I'm sure that's the byproduct of all the pickup on the tires from that yellow. It was unbelievable to see the rubber flying in the air.
They're all over each other again, side by side. You will not get 2 cars through there.
Oh, but they try, and here's the carousel. Pagenaud still trying to attack. Power slides wide. Pagenaud inside.
Oh,
they hit again. It done.
They touch again.
And Pagenaud comes out ahead. It looks like perhaps Power might have missed the gear, and he drops back.
If I'm Roger Penske, I am freaking out right now. These guys, my easy championship leaders, going at it. The gloves are off. Can Will Power respond now?
And Will Power needs to gather his wits about him. Meanwhile, it's Connor Daly who leads. He's on blacks. He's got a simple mission from his team owner, Dale Coyne. Go as fast as you can on the primary tire and save fuel and keep Simon Pagenaud and Will Power behind.
Look at Hunter Ray. He had his, didn't get a full fill, we hear, but he's trying to race back. If I'm Pagenaud now, do I get crazy racing with Daly, or do I realize I've got my championship contenders all in my rearview mirror?
I think he knows that Daly's going to have to stop, and by the looks of Daly, I think they've told him, just go. You're not going to be able to make it. You've got to open up a huge gap.
And meanwhile, Mikola Loshin gets another penalty for hitting personnel in pit lane. Watch all of this again on the restart.
They come down the front straight. Power does the fade, makes Pagenaud go to the outside. They touch under the brakes.
Kimball with his problems.
Kimball locks up, slides off the road.
Nice safe re-entry here. A little dicey behind him as Rossi has a problem, but this is where it gets wild.
And these guys are still going at it right here. Power runs wide. Pagenaud gets a run. He does the over-under. An impossible move here to try and pull off. He gets Power wide again, marbles on the tires. He runs into the next corner, runs wide again, and leaves the door wide open for Pagenaud. They make contact again, and he's through.
I mean, to have that much wheel-to-wheel, side-by-side action at Mid-Ohio and not have much bigger contact is a big surprise.
And I think back to a little bit earlier, to see Tony Kanaan in the blue 10, the red 15 of Graham Rahal going at it. I think back earlier to when one of us said Pagenaud looked like he was just biding his time. Well, he's biding his time no more. That was full attack mode right there. Graham Rahal now pulling away from Tony Kanaan.
I think that was Pagenaud's way of saying, you might be chasing me in the championship, but I am not going to lay down. I'm going to attack just as hard as you attack me.
Absolutely. The gloves were off there through 11 and the carousel. And like you said, an impossible move in 11, but I think what it did was really move the chess pieces around and move Power offline, off his game, into the marbles that allowed him to get the pass done.
I had my own concern about Pagenaud as we were getting to the halfway point this year, that he was starting to just points race and wasn't as aggressive as he was at the beginning of the season, but he's serious now. He's decided, I've got to make this happen. I got to assert myself back in the championship lead. Right now, if Connor Daly has to pit, this could be another win in the books for him.
Meanwhile, you saw that graphic pop up about where the Chip Ganassi team currently runs. It's crazy to think that they've been so dominant through the years here at Mid-Ohio, and their best runner right now, Kanaan at 9th, Kimball 12th.
Connor Daly out in front, 22 laps to go. Honda leads here at Mid-Ohio. You could lead a Verizon IndyCar Series race as well with Honda's fastest seat in sports. All you have to do is go to racingwithhonda.com and enter for your chance to lead the start of a Verizon IndyCar Series race in the Honda two-seater with a former IndyCar champion. Daly with the number 1 proudly displayed on the side of his car there in the leader lights. Struggled mightily throughout the weekend, but they went to the balance that R.C. Anderson had on his car, and the cars come alive. You look there.
Push to pass for Hinchcliffe. He makes a move on Piggott.
Piggott
in the grass.
Chevy. Spencer Piggott doing a great job in his rookie season. Chevy Power behind Spencer Piggott. Take a look at him in our Chevy driver profile. Indy Lights champion. And I'm telling you, it looks like it's about to be a changing of the guard. Youth is coming into the Verizon IndyCar Series. And Spencer Piggott, one of those young drivers, sure to impress. Connor Daly continuing to lead. Is he going to be able to make it, Kevin?
He is, but he's going to need some help. Instead of trying to save, that was going to be too tall of a task. They told Connor Daly, run hard, and we're hoping for a yellow. Simon Pagenaud behind him is told, don't worry about Daly. He's going to have to stop. But a yellow could still get Connor Daly to victory lane. He has about a 2+ second lead on Simon Pagenaud, and Will Power is also still lurking.
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. Which one of these awards appeals most to you?
Top safety pick, mid-size car and SUV.
Most dependable means a lot to me.
The green car, because I like fuel efficiency.
What if there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company, one award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one word?
Incredible, amazing, and I can't use one word.
I work as that peak that we climbed. Being able to go between having a laptop and having a tablet is really important to me. I couldn't do that with my Mac. I love that we as humans can go to the top of the world. I've summited Everest 6 times. It's the durability, the reliability, it's incredible.
Here's 2 pieces of good advice. Number 1, ask Geico about renter's insurance. And number 2, don't go on vacation and leave your house key under the welcome mat.
They left your feather duster. You're going to need it.
Go to geico.com and see how affordable renter's insurance can be. $5 Sonic boombox gives you a lot for $5.
Yeah, and Abraham Lincoln would be really proud of this.
Right. Oh, because he's on the $5 bill.
That's exactly where I was going with that, actually.
Yeah.
The opening ceremony of the 2016 Olympic Games from Rio. August 5th, 7:30, 6:30 Central on NBC.
Want to dominate your fantasy football draft? Go to rotoworld.com to get your fantasy football draft guide. Customizable cheat sheets, position rankings, extensive player outlooks, and more. rotoworld.com. Dominate your draft.
Car course is your ticket, gets you a seat anywhere you want, or, well, anywhere you can find it there on the hill down in 4, 5, and 6. Scott Dixon back in and out of his number 9. Target Chip Ganassi Racing, and they've done what they needed to do. They've gotten the mileage they need so that they can change that engine, and not the day at all that Scott Dixon wanted. See that Target logo on his back? It won't be there after this year. Target going away after 27 years in the IndyCar series. And how long have they been there? There are 8 drivers in the field today that weren't even born when Target first started their sponsorship.
Look at this guy. He has the hammer down right now. They've told him you're going to have to pit, so you got to go. He's got to hope for a yellow. He's pulled a 5.5-second lead on the championship leader, Simon Pagenaud. Hopefully he can maybe prey on these guys in the back that are running each other hard. Montoya, Rossi, Andretti, Newgarden, all these guys are fighting each other hard. Maybe they get into a crash with each other, but move back to where the battles are back here. This is where the action is at in the race. These guys are all running each other really, really hard, Townsend.
Yeah, I mean, it's hotly contested in the mid-pack as you see your Firestone telemetry in the upper left. Now watch this, turn 1, pretty quick corner. Watch the minimum speed, drops down to about 135, 140. That's in traffic with turbulent air. You see him sliding around as he struggles without the downforce, with Hunter-Reay taking the air in front of him. Let's see what Graham Rahal does here. That's a pretty good exit. Might keep getting on the button here and see if he can get himself a pass.
I think Ryan had a better exit off of there, and one of the things that the Rahal team was saying just a little bit earlier was that he needed some clean air to be able to get things done. Ryan Hunter-Reay, the question is, will he be able to make it to the end? Listen to the radio.
It's going to be tough for us to make it. We're going to have to hope for yellow, do the best you can, and that might work out.
You guys are killing me, I'll tell you what. Ridiculous.
Well, how do you really feel? Now, if he's having trouble, who else is having trouble, Katie?
Ryan, this has been just an extremely frustrating couple of weeks for Ryan Hunter-Reay. We talked about 2 horrible qualifying at Iowa and Toronto, then some pretty bad results as well, as from 10th or worse. He thought this would be a great rebound weekend, and it was, but then the team was not able to get the car full of fuel on that stop. He's most likely going to have to stop again and have another bad result, Kev.
We were wondering how long could Connor Daly go. The word just came from his engineer, Michael Cannon. We will have to pit at 8 laps unless we get a caution. But keep in mind, if for some reason, I think they'll make it, but if they can't and everybody has to pit, then Connor could cycle back through. I know this, Simon Pagenaud did 23 laps today in the final warm-up, and when he finished, Kyle Moyer said that is a full fuel stint. They need to go 2 laps further on green here in this final stint today.
Wow. Wow. Put your thinking cap on. What are you strategizing there, T-Bell?
Well, he did, Pagenaud was 27 laps on his second stint. That's under my record.
So right now, Pagenaud's saving fuel because Daly is like pulling away big time. He's almost up to 7 seconds now. So,
but these guys know to a droplet how much fuel they have in the car typically, and Pagenaud on pace on a 107 flat. So I'm sure they must have a pretty good idea of the pace necessary to make it to the end.
Jan?
And I would exactly concur with you, Townsend, as they know the exact pace they need. When you hear someone like Kyle Moyer say that's a fuel run, a full run in practice, that's full go. They know exactly, they have dash readings, and they will tell them what number they need to hit. And this should be easily attainable for anyone who stopped under that full course caution. Daly is the only one outside of that. Now, Ryan Hunter-Reay, as Katie has noted, they did not get all the fuel during the pit stop. That's why he's in trouble.
That was the problem. It wasn't a full fill for Ryan Hunter-Reay. Right now, Daly quicker than Pagenaud in power behind him, even on the black tires. But as we heard, he's probably running full rich, getting all the distance that he can so he won't drop that far back. But question remains, is there truly enough fuel in the tank for Simon Pagenaud, Will Power, and the rest of the Verizon IndyCar Series?
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. Which one of these awards appeals most to you?
Top safety pick, mid-size car and SUV.
Most dependable means a lot to me.
The green car, because I like fuel efficiency.
What if there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company won an award in Aldi. Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one?
As a professional mountain guide, and the Surface Pro 4 allows me to actually operate my business from Everest. I help clients achieve their dreams. This is that peak that we climbed. Being able to go between having a laptop and having a tablet is really important to me. I couldn't do that with my Mac. I love that we as humans can go to the top of the world. I've summited Everest 6 times. It's the durability, the reliability, it's incredible.
$5 Sonic boombox gives you a lot for $5.
Yeah, and Abraham Lincoln would be really proud of this.
Right. Oh, because he's on the $5 bill.
That's exactly where I was going with that, actually.
Yeah. And he was an honest guy, and this is an honest deal. And he created the boombox.
Oh, no, you were so close.
Yeah. My fellow countrymen, are you ready to get funky? Play.
Try the Loaded Cheddar Dogs, part of the new $5 Sonic Boombox, featuring a hot dog, junior cheeseburger, side, and a drink. This is how you Sonic.
Good morning to everyone across the United States. We are delighted you're with us. We welcome you to Stamford Bridge here in West London. The wait is finally over. Yes, a new Premier League season is upon us.
From executive producer LeBron James, Cleveland entrepreneurs get the chance to compete for their shot at success. Cleveland Hustles series premiere Wednesday, August 24th. Somebody else hustling on the racetrack right now, Connor Daly laying down good lap times, trying to build as much of a gap as he possibly can, but how far can he go, Kevin?
Kyle Moyer is on the stand for Simon Pagenaud. We're having fun speculating and guessing. Can he maintain a reasonable pace and get the rest of the way without a yellow?
Yeah, I mean, the Chevy makes great fuel mileage, so, you know, we're okay there. It's just a matter of keeping our pace and everything. I don't think Daly can do it because he did 5 laps earlier. So right now we're just maintaining. I mean, the PPG car's been fantastic today. The guys have been doing great stops, you know, and you know, we had to pit early there and got behind Will, and then we got our way around. Maybe not the best way to get around, but, you know, we need the points also with the championship. But the good thing is both of them are up there, him and Will, you know, doing what they need to secure this championship.
Thank you, Kyle Moyer, on the stand for the 22 for Simon Pagenaud, and he is in position to extend that championship advantage.
That would be huge. You heard him say perhaps not the best way to get around, and during that commercial break, you also saw Joseph Newgarden and Charlie Kimball, and I'm sure that Joseph Newgarden will not be getting a Christmas card from Charlie Kimball this year after that move at the exit of the keyhole.
I'm sure Newgarden's frustrated from the pit lane incident earlier, but he's on the charge, and right now Newgarden can still pull off a top 10, knowing that Daly's got to stop and maybe Hunter-Reay can't make it. As we ride on board with Graham Rahal, Rahal currently running in the 7th position. A little bit of action back there with, I think it was Andretti and Hunter-Reay side by side.
There's a lot of action going on right here with these guys. This is an accident waiting to happen right here.
Well,
so this is the race of the track right here. We've got 2 guys, teammates here side by side, and for whatever reason, Hunter-Reay has been falling back down, either trying to make mileage.
He must be trying to make mileage. I guess they've decided it's better to just try to hang on and run super lean, but at this rate, he's dropped all the way to 16th. There's frankly not much difference.
Yeah, he and Rahal were battling it out earlier for the 7th position, and now he's dropped well back all the way to 16th as you ride on board with Helio Castroneves. So Ryan Hunter Ray, you heard him say to his crew, "You guys are killing me."
Well, he's frustrated for sure. He had his best qualifying, one of the best ones of the year so far. Thought he could stay up front, and he just got cycled back, and now they didn't get all the fuel in, and he's ultra frustrated.
Very frustrating for Castro Neves. I mean, to have a great starting position today, be a championship contender, and now if they finish as they run right now, Castro Neves will be 103 points out while his two teammates are still going to duke it out. And there goes Castro Neves inside Hunter Ray.
Oh, this could be the yellow we're looking for right here. Hunter Ray hangs tough on the outside line, and Castro Neves a really late entry, but he's back on push to pass here.
He'll get him easily because Hunter Ray's got to save fuel.
Clear.
Yeah, Ryan Hunter Ray in that fuel-saving mode just doesn't have it. And you talk about the points with Daly leading these laps, it cost Pagenaud a chance at 2 bonus points with those laps led. Those will go to Mikhail Aloshin. So every championship point matters, and we talked about it earlier. Castro Neves, Dixon, Newgarden, they have all had problems today. The only ones in the top 5 that haven't struggled would be Pagenaud, Power, and Kanaan, who came in here 6th.
Well, right now, Connor Daly continues to put on a pretty good show of pace. He only has to get a splash on pit lane. He
seconds worth of fuel. They'll stay on hot tires. He might cycle out in 7th, 8th place, I think. They just splashed that car.
Connor Daly through 11 into the carousel.
Stays out.
Stays out for another lap.
The longer he stays out, the less fuel you got to put in. So he could be looking at a top 5 still. He's got an 18-second gap to 5th. So next lap, he's coming in. We'll see how much fuel he takes. I'm sure it'll probably only 2 seconds, 3 seconds worth of fuel.
And the key part for Connor Daly is hit your marks. That's what determines the plug-in, pull-out time. If the fueler can get in exactly as expected.
You saw Ryan Hunter Ray continuing to drop. He's now 18th as Daly leads Honda Power down the back straightaway. He'll pit this lap. No tires will be put on. It will only be fuel. It will be time. They'll communicate to the fueler when he's done to pull out and send Connor on his way. As you said, Townsend has got to hit his marks. Can't stall the engine. The fuel probe needs to go in smoothly, come out cleanly. Connor Daly needs to get out as quickly as he possibly can. That should hand the lead to Pagenaud.
Remember back in the day, Paul, when they'd whack the fueler with a stick?
Yeah.
On a short fill.
Now the fueler will just count the time that he needs. Can't speed here. Don't make any mistakes. Hot tires, so he's going to need a little bit of extra revs. So we got the 15. Is 19 seconds behind at this point. A quick stop, and he should get it out. Kevin?
And he's been on the overtake this lap, trying to build as big of a gap as he can. It was up to 10 seconds. Simon Pagenaud takes over, and the fuel nozzle gets stuck. It costs him a costly couple of seconds. There's still an opportunity for a great result. Remember, Connor Daly started last, and he's got a chance to finish 6th or 7th. Now he's going to fall back to at least 8th.
Here goes Ray Hall. Here comes Hinchcliffe. You saw the broomstick whack the fueler. And he just got stuck on the pullout.
They still get hit with that stick that you guys were talking about. Connor Daly right there behind Hinchcliffe, but behind him is Spencer Pigot. Pigot has the momentum.
I think some teams use a little light in the fueler's helmet, but Dale Coyne likes to go old school with the broomstick.
You saw Ray Hall and Bourdais there on the left side of the screen having quite a battle at the end of the straightaway. And remember, Connor Daly was on hot tires, so that gives him an advantage, but right behind him, Spencer Pigot is on the alternate, on the red tire.
So watch this. You're going to see Connor Daly come in. He hits his marks perfectly, and right here, you see that broomstick handle is going to come out, just whack him on the arm, and he loses grip on the stainless handle as he pulls back. 5.2, they would have liked 3.2. That probably would have counted for 2 or 3 spots on track.
Yeah, just a second would have put him out in front of Hinchcliffe, but the biggest problem is the cars that he's around, he's the only one on the primary black tire, and that red is going to be quicker, and the reds have been durable throughout the weekend. Now your leader, as he has been multiple times, in fact, in 10 of 12 races this year, Simon Pagenaud.
Back in control. He's got a nice big gap to his teammate. He's well in control of everything now, and this right here is a championship day to get his confidence back. Like I said, I thought for a while he was points driving, And today he showed that, listen, I'm taking control of this thing.
Well, this whole year has been moments of confidence building for Simon Pagenaud. Remember at Long Beach, his first win driving for Penske. He told me on the phone last week, he said, I don't think a lot of people realize how big of a deal that was for me personally to deliver that first win finally for Roger Penske. Then the pole position in Iowa, not known for his oval strength. He's only been doing ovals for a few years. He outdrove everybody in qualifying to start up front at Iowa. And then today, dominating Will Power here. Look at the gap that he's put on Power, 3.6 seconds since they were going hand-to-hand combat earlier. So all season, Pagenaud's demonstrated to the world and himself, I'm the best in the business this season.
Got to give a shout out to Munoz here. He has been quiet all day, used pit strategy to get him up the front, but this, the only Andretti car up front to get on the podium, would be a huge win for them. And look at Bourdais. Bourdais.
Whoa!
Whoa, that was the yellow that Daly needed.
Oh, it's going to come out at the wrong time. Sato continues.
Oh, and that's brutal for Sato, who had such a good, solid run going. They really needed it. And this will certainly bring out a yellow. When you're that deep in China Beach, there's no way out.
They might just keep it local yellow. Bourdais going to get out and just drag that car out of the way. And
I don't know
keep that track green. But that was exactly what Connor Daly needed about 3 laps ago. As we see Bourdais, he's got to run. Doesn't know which way to go. Do I go to the inside or go to the outside? He locks up and just gets into the bumper of Sato, and they both go off. Gave him the chrome horn, and got himself beached in the sand.
And Bourdais probably knows, heck, if I got back on track, they'd probably make me do a drive-through for that anyways. And here's the reaction from Pagenaud's crew, because if a yellow does come out, we get a restart with 2, maybe 1 lap to go.
It's going to take them longer than that to move that car if they did go full course caution. It's still a local yellow down in turn 4 with 3 laps to go. Pagenaud 4.7 seconds in hand over Will Power. You talked about Munoz running well in third for Andretti. You think about the heartbreaking Indianapolis 500 finish for Munoz when he finished second, but this is going to give a little breath of fresh air to the Andretti squad.
With that accident just now, that promotes Graham Rahal up to 4th, and now Daly into 6th. So the last couple laps, things have changed. A good day for Rahal now.
The Verizon IndyCar Series, it can change at a moment's notice, but Simon Pagenaud just continuing to stretch his lead. Is there any concern at all on Will Power's camp about making it for fuel? Have they just gone a little bit leaner? Or
I wouldn't think so.
Just driving the wheels off of it, Kevin?
Not really, although Tim Cindric did tell him 2 laps ago to go ahead and save a little bit just to make sure. Simon Pagenaud is in a better situation. Kyle Moyer said we've been saving better than Will Power, and about 2 or 3 laps ago as Power started to gain a little bit, he said we'll turn it up a little bit. So no concerns for Pagenaud and not really much for Power.
2 laps to go. The last time by at the line, Simon Pagenaud looking to extend his points lead through turn 11.
And remember that the finish line at Mid-Ohio is different from where we do our starts and restarts at Mid-Ohio, which is effectively on the backstretch. But this will be the finish 1 lap from now as the white flag comes out. Simon Pagenaud cooking through turn 1. What a drive today.
Last lap, again. Make sure you slow down turn 4.
Slow down, as Kyle Moyer tells him to slow down for the local yellow. You don't want to run through there with too much speed. We got a meeting with the chief steward, and he really didn't like these guys running fast through yellow zone, so he's got to slow it down, get down to just a safe zone here. You can see right here he slows down, takes it nice and easy.
It's tough to do. They asked for 15% off in that segment, but that's difficult for a driver to know what 15% is when you've been driving 100% for almost 90 laps.
It's been a 6-race dry spell as far as wins go for Simon Pagenaud, and for Roger Penske and his crew. It's been since 2008 that they've won here at Mid-Ohio. 1 corner to go for Simon Pagenaud, looking for his 8th career Verizon IndyCar Series victory. Simon Pagenaud, Chevrolet, take the victory at Mid-Ohio.
Woohoo! Yes!
Nice job, thank you guys.
And there's
Great
that
drive
boost.
in there.
There's that boost of confidence. There's that momentum breaker that Pagenaud and his crew needed. Kevin?
Roger Penske, the car owner, his team finishes 1-2 here at Mid-Ohio. He's talking to Elio Castroneves on the cool-down lap as he comes in. Roger, it looked a little iffy a little while there. The yellow didn't work out, but your guys finished the job. What a day for you.
Well, I tell you, it's an interesting race. Obviously, I'm sorry about Elio and Dixon getting here. I guess that they looked at it. It was, we came out. He had a chance to get warmed up on his tires. I'm sorry about that, but I think our guys up front did a great job. They knew what to do on their fuel. We knew that Daly had to pit. So, overall, great day for the team, and we got to keep going.
You watching when Pagenaud got by Power, and they did a little bit of rubbing there.
Well, look, these guys both won it, and I think that's the reason they're driving for us. And, fortunately, it didn't cause a problem, but overall, it was a little bit dicey there. But I'm sure we'll talk about it when they get back to the truck.
I love that, but ultimately, Roger Penske always lets his guys race, and he's headed to victory lane.
He said both these guys won it. There was absolutely no doubt to give the other an inch.
Well, and neither of these two now, you can argue that Pagenaud is just as quick as Power in qualifying trim. We used to question, is there anybody as quick as Power in qualifying? And Pagenaud has matched him this weekend, so it's going to be a chess match.
Let's see what these two guys, they're struggling to get
out
out.
of the car.
Curious how Power addresses Pagenaud here. I'm going to think to congratulate him.
Well,
yeah, that's nice to see.
Two guys going at it. You think about how those transporters will be, how those team meetings will be from here on out as the pressure of the championship builds even more than it is right now. Remember, double points in the final race of the year, so anything can still happen. We've seen it happen in the past. Simon Pagenaud gets his helmet off. Big celebrations down there. I'm sure he's elated, Kevin.
Elated and sore, but it doesn't hurt nearly as much when you get to celebrate in victory lane. Simon Pagenaud has needed help to get in and out. A big kiss from his girlfriend Haley, and he celebrates in victory lane for the first time here at Mid-Ohio. Before we get to how you got it done,